welcome to the Friday edition of the United Front Show. My name is Raz. Important weekend we've got. So Man United versus Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final. So look, it's going to be a really good game. And I can tell you that our friend Frankie Lampard is already starting with the mind games. And by that I mean it's been reported in the Daily Metro that Frank Lampard is trying to influence the officials. Specifically, what he said was he started out by saying, well, Manchester United have, a very good, have the best forwards in the league, in Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood, obviously. And then he also went on to say that Manchester United have been awarded 12 penalties this season. So we know that that's true, but at the same time, those comments are not, meant for the media or for anybody else other than the officials. I think he is trying to influence the officials. I mean, that's an old playbook that a lot of managers in the past have used, and it looks like Frankie is trying to influence the officials before the game so that they're mindful of what's going to happen. I mean, he specifically said he has to talk to his team and ensure that they don't leave a leg dangling out there, simply because if they do, they will be punished. And you know what, Frankie, you're right. You will be punished if you do that, simply because we've got really good attacking forwards who have the ability to change speeds and can do a lot of damage. So, you know what? Great advice to your players. In United, we're gonna march on, and that's what really matters. In other news, so we know that Man United have 3 games in 7 days after this semifinal that's coming up. So we've got Chelsea on Sunday. We've got West Ham on Wednesday, which is the 22nd. And the final game is against Leicester on the 26th. That's the final game of the season. So with that said, we're only 1 point behind Chelsea, who are in 3rd place. Manchester United obviously in 5th place. Same amount of points as Leicester, who are in 4th. And Leicester are only ahead of us on goal difference. They've scored 3 more goals than we have. I'm a little concerned, to be honest with you, with the run-in, and here's why. I think that Chelsea, who play Liverpool on the 22nd, which is Wednesday, have a final game against Wolves. I'm not concerned about their game against Wolves because I think Wolves have something to play for, and that Wolves are going to be playing for a place in the Europa League, so they're still in contention. They missed out on Champions League, obviously. That dream is over. And, I think Liverpool have nothing to play for. And not only that, I think it's an opportunity, and call me cynical, but I think it's an opportunity here for Jurgen Klopp who is the Liverpool manager, obviously, to solidify his legacy as, a Liverpool, great manager, so to speak. And here's why. I don't know any fans who are as bitter about Manchester United's success over the last 30 years as Liverpool. Because Liverpool have nothing to play for, I believe that Jurgen Klopp will go ahead and field a bunch of young, maybe reserve players, and he won't really care what happens. Well, guess what? Man United do care. That's because if Liverpool beat Chelsea, that gives us an opportunity to solidify, our place in next season's Champions League, assuming we do our business by beating West Ham and by beating Leicester in the final. So that will put us in a good spot. The other side is Leicester, right? So Leicester play Tottenham on this Sunday. I think Jose Mourinho obviously has something to play for. When asked this earlier in the week, he said that he would rather be playing in Europa than not playing in Europa. So we know that Spurs have an opportunity, to finish either 5th or 6th and grab that spot. I think that will be great if they did that, simply because we know that whether we finish 3rd or 4th, we don't care about those two, which spot. I mean, obviously 3rd would be, will be better, but then we get to play in the Champions League. So I know that Jose Mourinho would do his best and go from there. So apart from that, I mean that's the most important thing. Talking about this weekend, the FA Cup against semifinal against Chelsea, the lineups. Look, you just never know, right? Solskjaer has proved that he keeps other managers really guessing on which team is going to show up. He's not going to show off his cards real quick, so I know that there's a possibility, Martial and Rashford and Greenwood and Pogba and all of those guys can play. A lot of people are saying, well, why would he want to do that? I mean, we should save all our energy on all our players and for the game against West Ham and Leicester so that we can finish strong and guarantee top four. Well, look, nothing is guaranteed for one, right? Nothing is guaranteed. What happens if he rests the players this weekend and then only to lose the next two games? Anything can happen. I get it. We're on a 19-game unbeaten streak. But in addition to that, Solskjaer is Man United through and through. He is not going to pass up an opportunity to win a trophy, regardless of what kind of trophy it is. That's the kind of club that we are, all right? We're chasing silverware, and that's important for this team, to win something, because that will carry over and that could propel them to maybe even have a better run, in the Europa League and next year and so on and so forth. In addition to that, look, I know that Bruno Fernandes loves to play. That guy won't want to, sit out. I don't see that. I know that Harry Maguire won't want to sit out. I know that he wants to play. Rashford, I could say the same thing. Pogba, I'm sure he wants to get involved. I mean, he's still working his way to his best, right? And in addition to that, we've got great competition. Fosu Mensah just tasted what it's like, to play for Man United after, being away for 3 years. And I think he did, he did all right, right? So he did okay. We don't know the situation on Luke Shaw. We don't know the situation on Brandon Williams simply because, they got some knocks there. So pictures of Brandon Williams, his eye is still a little swollen. I don't think he's going to be ready yet, but you never know. So it's exciting to be a Manchester United fan right now. Lots going on. Obviously, with 2 league games left, we've got the semifinal FA Cup this weekend, and hopefully we'll get to see play Man City in the final. The games are coming thick and fast. The players are looking good. Yes, there's a little bit of fatigue simply because Solskjaer hasn't been rotating the squad as much as would have liked, and finishing the season on a high is important for Man United because it'll help us attract more players, quality players, and improve a few things. Oh, by the way, before I forget, please make sure to like and subscribe, right? Thank you. I can see players like Jesse Lingard getting an opportunity. Diogo Dalot, I'm not really sure if FA Cup will be the best time to give him an opportunity. In addition to that, we've got Odion Igalo, who's been patiently waiting. Fred's, needs a little bit of game time. He hasn't had much here lately, so maybe he's fresh and ready to go. There could be an opportunity for us to use him. Matic came in the second half against Crystal Palace, so maybe he has an opportunity to start. So, look, I think the team's looking good. I think we're looking fresh. That could be an opportunity for us to, get some more silverware. Again, it will take us to get to the final before we can talk about that, but this game, I can tell you, is going to be important on Sunday. After that, we face David Moyes on Wednesday, and then our final game is against Leicester City. It would be great for us to wrap up that top 4 spot before we face them. Hopefully, that would mean Leicester would have to lose, and Chelsea would also have to lose, and United would have to win the next game. And that means we could make it on goal difference against, over Chelsea. So until then, keep your eyes peeled. Enjoy the games this weekend, and enjoy everything else that you're going to be doing this weekend. But let's go, Man United, and I will talk to you on Monday. I'm out.